Hello and welcome back. So today I'm going to do a fall look with using the Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 palette, and I'm going in with the shade Love Handles to go ahead and start out and buff that into my crease. So the next shade I'm going to go into is G Money, and I'm using that with a smaller defining brush, going back into the crease just to define it a little more. Making sure that I blend very, very, very well to make sure whatever other color I lay down blends perfectly. So then I'm going to take my e.l.f. Camo Concealer in the shade Light Sand, and I'm going to go ahead and lay that down and cut my crease and prep for the glitter that I'm using today. So then I'm going to go into the Laura Lee Nudie Patootie palette, and on the inner or outer corner, of my eye, I'm using the shade Nakey Nakey. And I'm just going to pat that on and then make sure I blend in windshield wiper and circular motions. So then I'm going back into G Money, and I'm going to define that upper part just a little bit to make sure I didn't lose any of that color when I laid down the dark brown. Just making sure once again that I blend really, really well. So next I'm going into the Nudie Patootie palette, and I'm laying down the color Streaking where I applied the concealer just to prep it for the glitter. So then I'm going back into the Jaclyn Hill palette using the shade Ride or Diamonds and laying that down. Also taking the shade Grateful and just kind of making sure everything is buffed out and there's no lines. So then I'm using the e.l.f. liquid eyeshadow in the shade Bling Bling, and I like to use my finger to pat it out just because I feel like your finger helps melt that glitter down so there's no bumps or lumps or anything like that in your eyeshadow. So then I'm going to take a wet wipe, and I'm just going to wipe up any excess glitter. And then I'm going to take a liquid eye pen, and I'm going to go ahead and create the wing that I'm going to do for today's look. So then I'm going to take my e.l.f. Putty Primer, and I'm just going to lay that down on my T-zone just to help smooth out my pores. And then I'm going to also put on my House of Lashes in the style Iconic. And then using my L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Wear foundation. That's a mouthful, guys, but it's in the shade 425, and I'm patting that out with a damp Morphe sponge. So then I'm going to take that e.l.f. concealer, and I'm going to go ahead and lay that under my eyes, on my nose, forehead, chin, and around my nose just to make sure that I get everything absolutely concealed. Any red spots, darkness, anything like that, I don't want that peeking through, which I'm also blending out with the damp Morphe sponge. So then I'm going to take my MAC Cosmetics foundation powder, and this is in the shade C4.5, and I'm going to go ahead and mattify my foundation and also make it look super flawless. So then I'm going to take my Fit Me loose powder in the shade Fair, and I'm going to go ahead and set any areas where I laid down the concealer just to make sure nothing creases or moves throughout the day. So then I'm going to take my NYX Brow Gel, and this is just going to make sure that my brows do not move, and it kind of darkens them and gets any powder that might have gotten on them off. So then we're going to wipe off any excess powder after we've baked. And then we're going to go in with the shade G Money with a stiff definer brush, and I'm going to go ahead and lay that down on the lower lash line just to define it. And then we're taking the shade Homeboy on a fluffy brush, and I'm just buffing that out to smoke the eye look just a little bit more. Once again, blend, blend, blend. So then I'm taking a black eyeliner, and I'm popping that into my waterline, and I'm just going to smudge that out because I want the look to be very smoky today. Just popping some mascara on the bottom lashes, and then I'm going in with my Morphe bronzer in the shade Originator, and I'm just going to go ahead and define my cheekbones, my forehead, my nose, and also my jawbone just to add some color back into the face. I'm then going to go in with the glazed highlighting palette from Laura Lee Los Angeles, and I'm going to highlight my cheekbones, my Cupid's bow, my nose. And then I'm also going to take a smaller bullet brush and I'm going to highlight my brow bone, and I'm also going to pop that into the inner corner of the eyes just to be more glam than I already am. Then I'm going to take the NYX blush in the shade Ladylike, and I'm going to go ahead and just add as much blush as I feel I need to until I'm happy with the look. And then I'm going to go in with my ColourPop BFF3 lip liner, and I'm going to go ahead and define my lips, and I do overline just slightly. Then we're going to rub that out, and we're going to take the NYX Lingerie Push-Up Pen, and this is in the shade Push-Up, and I'm also going to go ahead and place it on the lips. And that is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and be sure to share. Bye, guys.